Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is feeling good. Let's jump into the chart. So, as you can see, it is a very, very choppy morning already in London. People getting absolutely spanked left, right, and center. It's not something that I want to engage in at the moment, that is for sure, in this chop. We're just barcoding, so it's best that we stay out of the market. You can see that the book is very, very thin just below me on the book map. There is some orders around about 22,387, but other than that, there isn't anything to obviously shout about. So let's have a look what is going on, who is in the chat, and I hope everyone is feeling good. Please say that you can hear me. That would be good if you can hear me, because yesterday we was on mute, so we don't want that. So let me know in the chat. Can you hear me, Stina? Can you hear me, Ubaid? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, what can we say, hey? What can we say in relation to what's going on? I'll give it a little 17 out the gate already, 18 out the gate already. We'll give it 5 minutes, and then I just want to touch on a few things that I've just watched more analysts, you know, the people who look at the longer term time frame of things rather than your day traders, more of your analysts, just to get a bit of a picture of more of what's going on, because we're day traders, we can literally just zoom too far in, and we have to do that for our execution, of course. However, it is still good to understand and maybe get back to knowing a little bit about the macro just to see where we are, and that allows us to then be a little bit more chilled in our trading and not get too much caught up in the noise. Even if you are not an investor or a long-term investor, you know, a lot of people will be taking money from what they've done and maybe getting into real estate around the world and things like that as a safe haven. But depends on where you are at. I'm not a massive investor. I never really have been, not really into it. Now that I'm getting a little bit older, it's something that I should be taking a little bit more seriously, and I badger on to my children, but again, in one ear, out of the other. The same as when probably someone told me, part of, obviously, parenthood. So, 20 in the building already. Good to see you. So, I want to break down basically yesterday. So let's go over yesterday. I am keeping an eye on this level just above. You see this white line here? 22,436 on my motive wave chart, because that is the Asia high, and I'm not sure whether we can get a move up to that Asia high, and then I can possibly get into a short here on these cash accounts. I don't have Top Step open at the moment, because we're nowhere near where I need to obviously try and get a trade from. So it's 22,439 on there, 22,436, 439, yeah. One or the others. So, excuse me. Yesterday and today and what's happened this week so far. So let's just go to the hourly term time frame, all right? Good morning, Nish, good morning. And yesterday was a very, very strong trend day. A very, very strong trend day. But what I want to highlight here is, let me go to a cleaner chart for you. What I want to highlight here is this. This was the open for the week, right? And I mentioned this yesterday, and I think it's quite, I think charting and trading and things like that are quite fascinating. But you see this here, right? Spoke about this yesterday. Let's change this to a line, get it to a thick, and get it to a yellow line. This was the Sunday open. So all the news around what was going on with Israel, and we thought this was going to escalate and it's going to get crazy and etc., etc. This was the Asia open on that weekend, right? And we came down and we literally just trapped anybody that was bearish in the market. Not only that, which was quite interesting, we then came and short squeezed all of this range. So this range, we've been in here for a while, and we just short squeezed all of this range. Basically Monday, we just short squeezed. So anybody that was short in here and anticipating that this was going to roll over to down these levels because of we took out those levels, they got trapped. And a lot of money would have got trapped by there. I don't know the exact figure, but a lot of people would have got trapped. And then you've got this move back to the upside, all right? Now, the fact that that has been taken, that was the biggest trap so far. and the fact that we've continued to move. Then we had a ceasefire that was broken within an hour, and Trump's lost his mind and all that stuff. Now he's at NATO and all these things. But one thing I have noticed, and one thing that I kind of came to my attention, was people are still bearish, right? The people are still bearish. Retail traders, bearish. We're reversal traders, so, we're trying to catch those shorts. But we're not trying to catch the shorts because we think we're bearish. But most people are still bearish. And how do you know that? Because the market has trapped so many people moving to the downside on that bad news. It hardly moved, and then now it's continued to the upside. And they always know, because if the market has bad news and it doesn't really affect it, then you know that you are in a very, very strong bull market. And this is going to continue to the upside. Now, we don't know how far it's going to continue to the upside. But the fact of the matter is, and crypto, how can we be on the verge of these rumors and people, World War III and all these types of things? If we're going to switch bearish, because crypto is going to be absolutely smashed to smithereens. It hardly moved, Bitcoin. And the stock market, well, it hasn't moved all week on the news that there could be a world war and all these things. So if you are a long-term swing trader, then longs are obviously only your trade. You may only be looking for longs on your intraday trading if you are too scared to short, because we can't short if we keep going higher and higher and higher. We can only short once that structure's broken, and then we need to come back down, because we're running out of levels to short the market. We're reversal traders. We are actually running out of levels to short the market. Now, we're only looking for 40, 50 points. If we get 100, excellent. Ka-ching, big payday. But if we get 50 points 3 times a week, we know we're making bank at the end of the month. So for us as intraday traders, in the way that I trade, yes, looking at the high term perspective is good for knowledge, good to know, good to be in the loop, good for my clients or students or attendees or friends, whatever I would like to call them, friends. But from a intraday trading perspective, it doesn't really affect us unless you're only looking to go in trend, which most people are, which means you're going to have to go against the local trend, which is the way that I trade. So that is something. Good morning, Marco. Hope you're good. And Quivering Panda, Nas going to drop to that weak start and then push up. We will see. Like you say, we will see. I would love, on a structural point, so let me go to structure here so you can see on my screen. From a structure perspective, we need to come back down. All right? We need to come back down. 1, to grab liquidity. 2, markets don't go up in straight lines. They will reverse. And as reversal traders, you know that we are trying to catch that move. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to stay in that move, but sometimes we can catch the top of the days and the low of the days, as you've seen multiple times on this channel, and you may be able to hold that throughout the day. I don't hold throughout New York, as you know, very, very rare. But that is something that I would obviously be looking at. Frederico's in the building. Good morning. Do you trade crypto? I did, Pedro, for 4 years full time, 6 years in and out. But I don't trade crypto. I don't touch crypto no more. So yeah, I made my money with crypto and things like that. TRT trades. I like the idea of previous daily high and then clean up these inside lows. Yeah, I do that. That's what I'm looking for. You know the way I trade. If you've been here for a while, you know I'm looking for the sweep of this previous daily high or this Asia high. This is me. This is what I want. I want this here. I want that just there. That would be great for me. Absolutely great. Absolutely great. That would be that zone right there. So we'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Pedro's saying, what advices can you share with newbies like me starting to trade crypto as a side hustle? You need to see a doctor. It's crazy. It's crazy. You're crazy. Hey, listen, all I can say is, listen, I now I'm in NQ, which people say, oh, you're crazy. You just trade NQ and all these types of things. You get used to what you're trading. There's people out there that trade all this meme coin stuff. There's people out there that trade, natural gas, different types of energy. You just need to get in sync and understand with the way that your asset moves. We know that the NASDAQ will have an opening range 10 till on a Monday. We know that it's going to be a range expansion on a Tuesday a lot of the time. And we know that it wants to make its bigger moves on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So we can brace ourselves to know that as a reversal trader, Mondays are probably not going to be the best for me to hold trades for long. I might catch something, but they're not going to be the trades for me to hold anything for long. So I kind of know that behavior. We know that we like to take previous daily highs, previous daily lows, and we know that we like to take session highs and session lows. So that's how now I've got to understand NQ. But that has taken me now over a year to understand the NQ. With Bitcoin, it was more of liquidity grab after liquidity grab from the Fibonacci. So I understand reversals with divergences and at the Fibonacci levels. So what I would say would be I would trade one or two assets, whatever industry or whatever category or whatever commodity, whatever you want to do, and I would get used to understanding the behavior of that. And does the strategy that you use align with the behavior of that asset? So if you're brand new to trading and you're brand new to whatever, I wouldn't put my own capital. I would use prop firms to leverage, because that's the cheapest possible way to learn. And I would get a coach or a mentor, or I would buy courses. That's what I would do now. And it would have saved me a hell of a lot of money if I would have gone down that route. But because it's a low entry barrier and a high risk to reward, what do? We come in and we try signals, we try binary options, we get robbed, we get skanked, we get scammed. And then before you know it, we're either going to quit 20, 30 grand in the red, or we're going to really, really like it and see the opportunity, and then we're going to get to serious work. And you don't know whether you're going to get to that level, Pedro, because you have to give yourself time. RF040 has got the same levels marked. These are beautiful levels. These are called extreme levels, okay? So if you ever hear me talk about extreme levels, what I'm interested in is where is the highest probability of trades going to happen? And that's where I want to be involved in the market. Why do I want to be involved where the lowest probable trades in the market are going to be? Which is more than likely going to be in here. That's more than likely going to be, let's give that a good old amber. That's probably going to be the zone I don't want to get involved with. Okay? I don't want to get involved in here. And why is that? Well, you can just look at the price action. Look at the price action. Even if I put volume in there, you could probably see that that's where all the highest volume node is there. So that's where most of the activity is taken. 50-50 buyers and sellers are battling in this position. We've got low volume here, as you can see. Low volume, so I don't really want to mess around in there. I've got a high volume node here. I've got low volume here. Now, the only reason I would look for low volume here is because it's at Asia low. And if I have a look at Bookmap, the Asia low is 22,385. At 22,390, I've got 67 contracts sitting there. So I've got some liquidity sat at that level. So that makes me want to get involved at that level. I hope that makes sense. Until then, I don't want to get involved. So that's what we are sitting and waiting on our hands. And this is where the money is made, my friends, by sitting and waiting on your hands. This is where the money is made. All right. And Bailey says, sweep the highs for a short. Exactly. Simple, methodical way of trading. We sit, we wait. Can we sweep the highs? Is there liquidity on my Bookmap? If there is, did we get a big green buying circle, bubble? Then did the reds come in? If the reds came in, did I get a 3 candle reversal pattern or a 4 candle or a shift candle? If I did, retest, I'm in the trade. That's it. It's taken me about 7 years to figure this one out. But it's allowed me to go full time after consistently messing around, as you know. Good to see Callum's in the building. I'm looking forward to see Callum in London on the 11th. That'll be great. You have a blessed day as well. So I'm just sitting and waiting. I am slightly down on my cash account this week, only by about $200. We were down about 800, and we've slowly chipped away just on this Phidias cash account. Live account. You only allowed one a live account, as you know. So this is a live account. So I've got to try and take my time. I'm trying to keep this live account for like a year. You know, we've already taken 2 payouts from this live account. And we have got a Top Step account. I will be getting some Apexes. Not yet. I just want to get the mastermind out of the way. And then we have Bullanox. All our Bullanox will be renewing in 2 days as well. So we'll be renewing them. I am on My Funded Futures on Thursday. So tomorrow, I think I'm on My Funded Futures tomorrow. I'll have to check what time. With the lovely Terry Trades. So on there with her tomorrow. She's doing a great job hosting over there. So well done to her. So I know it's out of her comfort zone. She was a bit nervous to take that role over on My Funded Futures TV. And I did have a live Funded Futures cash account, but I did blow it. So I need to get another one on My Funded Futures. So at the moment, friends, we've got to sit and wait. We've got to sit and wait. By the way, has anybody used volumetrics on My Funded Futures platform? They've got DX feed. I was using TradingView, but I like to not trade on TradingView. I just like to use it as my charting. So has anybody used volumetrics trading, I think, over on My Funded Futures? It's supposed to be really good. So you mentioned having Bullanox. What's your personal take on them? At the moment, excellent. I've had a payout from Bullanox, small one. Just before we lost some more accounts. Then I like it because it's on Project X. I like it because you can trade in our community. Some people have been funded, which is great. I don't know if they've got payouts. I've not seen anyone get payouts. People don't really put payout certificates and things like that in the Discord because it can trigger other people at times. And even though they want people to succeed, sometimes they can feel a little bit downhearted if other people are taking, decent payouts. So it's not something that we promote too much in relation to our community, as in, putting it out there. Certificates are good to pass, put your certificates out there. But as for payouts, yeah, I don't think no one's had an issue. No one I know has had an issue with Bullanox. But you can't really tell until you go and do your research, You've got to try these companies. You've got to try and get payouts. And then go from there and see what they do. I've never got to a payout on Apex. I never really give it long enough. Apex triggers my impulsiveness. But Phidias payout, Top Step payout, Bullanox payout, Take Profit Trader payout. So I can only judge on the ones that I've used that I've paid out. I've never requested a payout from a company and been declined from a prop firm. So, I can only go off my personal experiences, to be honest. If things come out, and I don't really look into too much of what other people say. One thing I don't really do is listen to what other people say a lot. I'll take it into consideration, but I'll still have to see it for myself or put my own risk on the line for me to make my mind up. Unless, obviously, it's ridiculous, like Fast Track Funding or whatever they were, which was clearly a scam. That was clear. Within a week, you could probably tell that was not probably going to work out. There's futures funded futures. There's a few out there. There's a few out there. But no problem, Steve. Give them a shot. They're cheap at the moment. They have some good sales. What I would say when it comes to prop firms is this. If you're not too sure about certain ones, test them when they do a crazy sale. Just test them when they do it 85, 90% off. Get a few accounts. Keep it cheap. Make sure it's reoccurring, so it's not like the first account is 90% off and then go from there. There is a link. There's links below. Again, I don't know if those codes works. Use TT10 because they do change things. I will go over that today and have a look. Whether the codes are still working. But there's My Funded Futures, which I highly recommend. My Funded Futures. I highly recommend Top Step, of course. Take Profit Trader. All right. and Bullanox. They're the ones that I'm using. They're the ones that I've got payout. Apex is if you've got a certain way of trading. It's not for everyone. I think it's for a select few. But my funded futures, you can use so many different platforms with my funded futures. So go and check them out. There's links below if you want to buy me a matcha, all that stuff. I don't even know if the codes work, so I'll have to update them. So nothing happening. This is dreadful price action, people. Absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Dreadful. What heat map is that on your left bottom? That is Bookmap. That is Bookmap. Around about $70. $70 a month, maybe. Excuse a squeaky arm. And it's just giving me the information of where the orders are and then where liquidity is and things like that. And what I can use that is, I used to use it in crypto a lot. Then when I came to futures, I didn't really use it. But recently now I've started looking at, I was using footprint charts, but it was a bit messy on my motive wave. A little bit messy on the charts on the motive wave that you can see. So a little bit messy. So yeah, we could be coming up to that level, people, that we're looking at. We could be coming up to our possible short level here. I've got an alarm set. Let's see if we can get up to that level here. By the way, how does my mic sound? Because I'm thinking of getting a new mic. I've not got a new mic for a long time. So, a little bit messy. So, yeah. We could be coming up to that level, people. Oh, it sounds all right, actually. This mic sounds all right. No big orders, though. There's no big orders at that level. Just put in the group what I'm watching. Watching Asia high, but no big orders on the map yet. Just let the Discord know that. I mean, I'm looking at this level, but there's no big orders yet. I don't know. See all these wicks on the 5 minute. They're interesting. Strong candle. Don't want to jump in front of this yet. It's a very strong candle. Oh, one thing I will say is this while I'm just on here is obviously I get people that book calls with me. And I understand people are busy and show up rates and things like that. But if you do book a call, let's just keep an eye on this. If you do book a call, just remember that time is very, very valuable, and I respect your time. So I kind of need people to obviously respect my time as well. I know things can pop up, things can change and things like that. But, you know, I'm trying to keep the show up rate. You get a confirmation email. I'm going to sort out where you get obviously a text message as well, just to keep the show up rate at a good balance. So if you do book calls and you are serious about obviously taking your trade into a full-time level, please show up for the calls, okay? It's very, very important to me. And it's going to be very, very important to you, because if you can't turn up for a call, you're probably not going to be able to be a good trader or achieve much. That's for sure. Just keep an eye on that. But today we've only got the Fed speech. So there's nothing, Powell's just haven't given me a testimony. It's not even a speech. So nothing major. Tomorrow, we know we've got a huge day tomorrow. So this could just be a continuation for a reversal tomorrow for me. Okay. There's still no liquidity there at this moment, so I can't just jump in. I can't just jump in here. Good morning, SR Flip. I can't just jump in here. I feel like I need to stand today. I'm in standing desk. Maybe I need to stand. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I remember the days where I just used to now jump in a short. I would just jump in a short now for like no apparent reason, just because it's hit my level. I would just jump in a short. It could play out. It could play out here. It could be very risky, but there's 2 minutes left on this candle. I would like it to close below the Asia high. That would be nice. But what I don't like is this. Oh, excuse me. What I don't like is this. When I look, this candle here, see this candle here, yeah. So if I'm looking for a reversal pattern on a free candle formation, that now means that I need to close a candle below here. So I can't get in this trade yet, nowhere near. What I would like is maybe this candle here, then I have another one, then I have that, and then I get a close below there. That would be ideal for me. So rather than that candle, can I get a close something like this? Can I use that candle? Can I get another 2 candles after this, and the third candle closes below that wick? That would be perfect for me. Let me get rid of the middle part, because you can see the gray, so you might not be able to see it properly, but that would be ideal for me. If I can get a close in a couple more candles below that, because I just don't like this. This is a strong bullish candle, so I've got to be aware of that. Good morning, Marv. Hope you're good. I've got to be aware of the fact that this is a very, very strong candle going into the Asia high without any major orders. There's 23, it's not just 2300 or 23 whatever, contracts at 22,450. No, you've got sound. You should have sound. Everybody else has got sound, correct? Just let me know, team. You should have sound. Yes, we have sound. Okay, it must just be you then, SR. Okay. So let's have a look. So we've got the spike. I'm not convinced yet. I can't jump in this yet. I've got to wait and see to see what actually happens. By the way, would you like a little bit of music in the background if I can figure that out? I've still never figured that out. I like chilled out music when I'm trading. Hand pan music, which is nice. Love hand pan, by the way. Anybody else into hand pan around here? My days of, I do like Travis Scott and things like that, but the days of that kind of music, which sends me over the edge, I don't really listen to that stuff no more. I have a very, very varied music taste, from Frank Sinatra to handpan to saxophone to hip hop to Afro beats to amapiano to drum and bass to bass line, garage, yeah, all of it. I've been into all sorts of music. I love amapiano at the moment and handpan. Frank Sinatra's from a Christmas vibes, I think. Do you pay for data feed on Bookmap, or do you use external data like Apex, Tradeify? No, I just pay for Bookmap. Toby Keith. Cowboy, yeah. Frank and MC. Oh, I was one of those back in the day, MCing on the garage. Used to love it. I loved Heartless Crew. Used to go to the big raves. Yeah. Sidewinder back in the day. Yeah, I used to go to those big weird ass raves. Not a lot, because there's a lot of trouble. A lot of stabbings or shootings. So I didn't really go that often. But yeah, I like many, many different types of music. I think music is very creative. It's good for your emotions. Very creative music is. Just listening to this at the moment, called Brain FM. And you know the sounds to help you focus. That's really, really good. So I was doing this morning. Trying to do an hour focus, 10-minute break doodling on the iPad, an hour focus. I got a call at 11, a mentor coaching session at 11, which is always good. These candles make me want to gamble. Here's my Degen trader from the community, the number one Degen trader. Anthony Williams is in the building. I told you he's either going to be a billionaire or he's going to be on the streets of London. That's Anthony. Good morning. Love to listen in at work. Nice to see you lost in Sweden. I think your prediction of 20,000 subscribers might be right by the end of the year. Hey? Elite traders blasting some UK garage. Love it. Yeah, so you see this initial rejection. You know, that's nice, but it gave you a quick 20 points. So if you're scalping, things like that, that's great. But I need to see, so now I would need to see this. I need to see that. I need to see a shift off this candle now. The bullish candle would be preferred because that's a bearish candle, but you know, I would have preferred the bullish candle, but that's a big move. That's a big move. So we're going to have to sit and wait still. Very, very frustrating, by the way. But this is trading. This is trading. This is trading. We must sit and we must wait. Big buyer, huge buyer has just come in now. You see the big green bubble below on the screen? That's a buyer. That's a buyer. So we could have a spike up again and trap this buyer. That's what could happen. We could trap this buyer here. Let's see. I'd like to see bigger contracts up there. I've got to be honest. I'd like to see bigger contracts. So I'm not convinced that this is going to reverse as of yet. Have you made a video on how to use Bookmap? No. There's plenty out there. There's plenty of Bookmap. I tell you who's quite good at using Bookmap. What's his name? Or videos, tutorials, and things like that. Yeah, it can be people, could be buyers coming into the market. RB, not so much one buyer. Tends to be predominantly a majority of one buyer though at a time. But yeah, there's loads of tutorials on, you know, how to use Bookmap or how to use order flow and things like that. I don't see them as a good use of my time, really. I might add Bookmap into the program though, which I just keep adding and 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 adding. That's what I'll just keep doing with that, rather than just like a one-off thing. It'd just be a thing that I can add on a regular basis. Things that I learn along the way, I can add into that program. That will be a reoccurring one program, something different. It will be a reoccurring program with access to me. It is something that I'm going to be exploring, something different. Nothing's really happening here. So again, we've got to sit and wait. Yeah, Carmine, he has quite some good tutorials on his channel. Go and check him out. Yeah, SR Flips just said he has some very, very good, a lot of educational stuff on his channel. I don't know if he does he do live trading? Obviously, he's got a community, but does he do live trading on YouTube? Or is it just tutorials or lifestyle stuff? I like him, but then I don't like the other nonsense that he does. So I do like some of the stuff that he does. I think he's a good trader as well. But all the other marketing crap, it's not for me. I don't think this market's moving the way we want it to move yet, champs. Unless you're long. Is anybody long from the lows? I know someone was talking about buying the dips. No live trading, just trade reviews. Okay. What's his name? It's there. SR Flips just put it above. Carmen Risotto. Risotto. He's good. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, there's loads of free Bookmap stuff. Depends how you want to use it. I just want to look to see where orders are. I don't really watch a lot of stuff. All I want to know is what happens at those levels. It's 4:14. Go to sleep, man. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? FOE plug. Are you on about me? $21,409. Nice. Nice crip walk. Nice. Beautiful. Oh, It's not that time. It's 10:15 a.m. for me. It's 10:15 a.m. It's normal. A.m. in the morning. I'm UK. I'm from the UK. Yeah, I'm British. Born and bred British. English. He must have thought I was in the States, yeah. I mean, I thought the accent would probably give it away. I could be somewhere else, though, yeah. I could still be in America with a British accent, of course. Everyone's surprised, though. When we lived in Dubai, everybody thought I was just Arabic, and I could just speak Arabic. And then the amount of times people come in here and they think I'm from America, yeah. Oh, you're in the States. Yeah, we have quite a few people in the States that watch that early in the mornings. Visit Snowdonia National Park, bro. I'll show you around. Is that where you are? Snowdonia. Wow. National Park. PM in Thailand. Well, Byron, my wife was on about me yesterday. She was saying, if this war continues in the Middle East, we can't move back to Dubai. We're going to have to move to Thailand. Looking at villas in Thailand already. Just straight away. But if it is 4:15, by the way, it's 4. You might as well get up. To be honest, you might as well get up, plug. Have one of those really, really good early mornings. And Roger in Texas. Get your 100 press-ups. Get your litre of water. Get some breakfast. Meditate. If you're getting up at that time. Snowdonia National Park. Nice. Beautiful part of the world. Because UK's got some really, really, really nice places. It's just that the weather's so bad and our economy's terrible and our leadership and morals as a country is completely gone. So you must be from around that neck of the woods then, TRT. You know, I've never been there, I don't think. Even with kids and that. I've never been to Snowdonia, which you would think we would. Cause it's not far, is it, really? I might have been as a kid. I can't remember. 10 more minutes, what? And you're getting up. Same here in Vietnam. Oh, 10 more minutes of sleep, please. You're not going to get that now you're here. Yeah, Vietnam. My dad loves Vietnam, he says. Vietnam's supposed to be amazing. Never been. Not a massive fan of creepy crawlies, you see. And I know, as the man of the house, I'm the one who gonna have to deal with everything. Not a massive fan of them creepy crawlies. One thing we don't get in the UK is creepy crawlies. Ray is saying it's 5 a.m. here in the big city. Gonna trade open, hit the gym, and study for M's cats. Love that. Love that, Roy. Big New York. I'll be going to New York soon. You better saying, hi friend, driving to north today and just left now. A lot of traffic ahead. Yeah. How far north? How far north? EA Porsche. The name gets my attention straight away. My favorite car brand. UAE, Fran, is the place. Forget about Thailand. All this fear-mongering by the media works a lot. Oh, I'll be back there. UAE. UAE is the best place I've ever been. Best place I've ever been. Yeah. It's not for everybody. I do miss the greenery at times. But yeah, for family and lifestyle, can't beat it. Yeah, bro. If the weather was better here, I'd never leave. Yeah. Beautiful part of the world. Beautiful part of the UK, Wales is. I like Wales. Yeah, I do like Wales. Just a lot of bloody rain. I mean, you can't trade this. You can't trade this, can you, really? If you're a reversal trader, we can't trade. This is what it's been like all week. I'll send you some Amapiano. Yeah, send me some. I've got quite a bit. I just would listen to it on YouTube with good DJs and on Spotify. But yeah, I got into Amapiano about 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago. And it was through someone I know who's from South Africa. Have you started your community? Yeah, we've been going for 2 years. Emmanuel, we've been going for 2 years, our community. We've just obviously been tricking around with the back end and email sequence and things like that, because I'm not into that stuff. So I just had to get someone to look at that. There's a new platform that I've been using. But yeah, the link's down there. You book a call, go on the calendar, answer a few survey questions, make sure you turn up. And if you're ready to take your trading seriously, then we'll get you on board. I don't have many spaces left for one-on-one. We just started opening a group one, which is good because there's now only a few people in the group one. But one-on-one, spaces go quite quickly. So I have to wait for other people to finish because I can only work with a certain amount of people on a one-on-one basis. But yeah, we've been going 2 years. We've been going a long time. MK and Birmingham. Yeah, you're not too far from me then. Birmingham, you're not too far from me at all. Not too far from me. By the way, there's not many spaces left, if any, because some people mentioned me yesterday about reserving some spaces for the 11th of July, our first ever little mini mastermind in person in London. So if that is something that some people are interested in, let me know. But there isn't many spaces left. I've had to reserve a couple as well. Here's the link. TRADEZBoardroom.com. That's the link. The TRADEZBoardroom.com. It's our first ever little in-person event that we're doing. We will be doing a lot more in the future. If this goes, there you go. That's why you don't get in these shorts. I grew up in Tamworth. I'm originally from Nottingham, and I'm about 15 minutes from Tamworth at the minute. I'm not going to dox myself, but yeah. How's that going to be? The mastermind in the UK? How's that going to be? I don't know what you mean. How's it going to be? It's like a mini mastermind. They call them masterminds, don't they? Basically, we're not going to be having loads of speakers at a massive stage, and I'm not going to tell you to all take your tops off and bare your chest and start going crazy like some of these motivational stuff. It's none of that. It's a mini mastermind, small group. There's a small group in a nice place in London, and we're just going to have we're going to address everybody's issues. We're going to go over a strategy. We're going to have lunch. We're going to sit down. We're going to have a little get together, that kind of thing. That's why it's not a crazy expensive thing. And then the community can get to know each other. There's a small community, and I can see the community in person. Like I say, someone's coming from Switzerland, Portugal, and then places like that. So TRT trades. No comment of where I am. But I'm not in any city. That's it, because I like a bit of quiet for now until we move back to overseas. Yeah, that is Football Central. I know a few people that used to live there when I used to play. I don't know if they still do, but they had properties there. They did have properties there. No, I'm not there. I'm not there. That's all you need to know. Okay, so the spike of the previous daily high has occurred, right? So now I am interested to see what happens here. Can I get a break back down into the Asia high? I would like to see something like this. This is my trade. Can I see something like that? That's what I would like. That's what I'm looking for. I won't trade it unless it's not that. I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait. Yeah, I do trade, but I'm not going to trade unless I have a setup. So in the meantime, I'm going to talk. If I'm silent, I mean, that would be very, very boring, wouldn't it, Lee? And no, I don't just talk about selling a program. No, people ask me a question and then I answer it. I don't need to sell a program or work with nobody for that information. That's why I'm not on here doing a day in the life or taking my top off to show you my abs or my car or my watch or my beautiful kids and wife. So you can be like me and have a life like me. That's why you never see that stuff from me. So it is your first time here, so I shall not judge. And neither should you. So I'm waiting to see if we can get this move to the downside. Tell me, I hope you're not a troll, Lee, because I had one like you the other day, and we laughed at him that much he had to leave. So I hope that you're not a troll, because our community is a very serious community. But we will give you a chance. We will give you a chance. But our poor mate, young millionaire, came in last week. And he went out with young Millie Philly. Nothing was happening for him. It was hilarious. Yeah, I'm a reversal trader. Yeah, no problem, Lee. I'm a reversal trader. This is what I'm looking at right now. So this is me. This is what I'm looking at. I want to see what happens in the next 2 minutes. I like that grab of the previous daily high. That's a nice grab. The trading community is sometimes going, the trading community is toxic. I think there's a lot of jealousy. I think there's a lot of because people have been burned and there are some scams out there and on all things like that. Then I can understand why people are optimistic and I can understand why people, I get it. But it's just part of life, it's just part of life. You trigger people get jealous, don't they? I've had it for a lot of my life. Obviously, before football, you can imagine the amount of people that were jealous because of football. It's just the way that it is. Bring back Yamal, young millionaire. Oh, mate, we need him back, Jay. We need Yamal back. The racist millionaire who loved Andrew Tate. Forgot Andrew Tate was black. And if he's got millionaire in his name, he's probably not a millionaire. But we don't know. He could be. But I don't know many millionaires who have millionaire in the name, or many millionaires who troll others. In fact, all the people that I know that are rich, they never speak about other people. They never troll others. All the people I know with money, they never troll others. I don't want this to go without me. What I would like to see now, this is what I want, okay? But I really want to see this now. I really want to see that so I can get in and then that. And then if this continues up, then I'm wrong. No problem. But I don't want to chase this candle here. Now it's rejecting here. I don't really want to do that. So I've got to be cautious. I've got to be very, very cautious. This market is very, very bullish. It's a low probability trade. So that's what I have to wait for. That is what I would get into. In fact. Let's also use a combine as well. Let's jump in a combine over here and see if we can get in this short here. Can we get a move into here? It might not give us the move. Might not give us that confirmation. I need some sort of retest on the 100 tick chart, me, unless I just go for a continuation play here down. But I really want to see some sort of move up here. Just something. So I'm gonna have to wait. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like, by the way. Let me refresh this page and see if you lot have been lazy. 29 likes. So it's 50%. You know, it's 50%, so that's fine. Appreciate that, Stina. Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the risk, this could be, you know, where you want to go in. You're not going to get a retest. You could go off that. What I didn't like is where would I put my stop? If I went in here now, 42, it's only a 15-point stop. It's not exactly a big stop. It's not exactly a big stop, is it? 20 points maybe. Okay. I need a little spike into here. I would prefer that. C just gave you a like. There you go. Lee, we'll quickly win Lee over, don't worry. He's brand new here, so yeah, there's a lot of misinformation. It's just hard work. You've got to try and get someone that you resonate with and go from there, really. Genuine question. I'm new here. I'd like to know what is being traded. NQ fire. I only trade NQ. Price may tap into 426 before coming back up for the retest. Could be. It looks like is it just tapped into there? 428. So could do. There's a lot of mess. This is a mess. That's what I don't like. There's a lot of mess. But I do like this possible short possibility. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Taken that now, so I'm quite happy to. Could just be a trap, so we've got to be careful here. This could go without us, you know. Here we are. Let's have a look. There's bookmap. There's a little bit here on bookmap. There is more contracts at 22.5 though. There's some contracts at 22.5. I like that.
Order filled.
I'm just going to pop in this short here. I'm only risking 5 contracts. Just looking here. This is what I've got to take into consideration. We bounced from here. And if you can see on the 100 tick chart here, this is where we bounced last time. So we could just range in here. Okay, we could just range in here. So I'm only risking $220 on this one. Very much against the trend, low probability. I'm not going to do it on my cash accounts. Could go in a small position maybe. In fact, I am going to go with a small position here. Small position there. See what happens. Don't copy if you don't know why I've shorted. If you're a trend trader, then you probably will be going to look for longs. If you don't know why I've shorted, please don't copy. You shouldn't be trading copies and trades anyway. Again, my trading system is to catch a trade on stream. The way that I trade is actually quite rare. It's actually quite rare because I only trade for an hour. Most of my entries are within the first hour of London or around about 12 o'clock. So it's very rare that I can actually get into a trade at this time on the streams. But we'll see. Aside from Top Step, which prop firms are you using at the moment? Bullinox. And I've got a live account. You can only have one live account. I've got a live account with Phidias. My TP will be the lows, 24, 22,410. But that won't be my full TP. Because I'm thinking this, I'm trying to catch the high here. I'm trying to catch the high. It's a Wednesday, so I'm trying to catch the high for the rest of the session. Hard to go against the trend and win all of them. Oh yeah, that's why, especially a trend like today. Like my win rate is quite high because I only trade from extreme levels. So previous daily high, previous daily lows, session highs, session lows. But when the trend is as strong as the trend is now, your win rate's going to be so low. So that's why you've got to try and hold a little bit longer. Why do you stick with a 5-minute chart? Does it give you something that other time frames don't? No, it's just what I've become comfortable with. My levels are marked on the 4-hour and the daily, and my entry is on the 5-minute. I look at the 1 hour to see what the 1 hour is doing. How long is left on the 1 hour close? Now the 1 hour is 23 minutes left. Let's get rid of that. The 1 hour is 23 minutes left. I like that wick, so we'll see what happens. As long as we remain below this Asia low, I like this. And you know, if this could come all the way down here by the end of the day, you just never know, you know. So I'm trying to get low win rate, but hold my trades for longer. Low win rate, bigger balance. The best traders that I've come across and the best traders that I speak to, the majority of the ones, they have a low win rate, but they have such huge wins. So that's what I'm looking at right now. The 1 hour, good rejection. The 4 hour, again, it's gone up there and it's trying to reject. So I mean, if the 4 hour closes below 22,426, then we could flip. We could flip bearish for the day. But so good, so far so good. Let's see what happens. We've only got 5 micros on here, so nothing big, nothing big. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Needs to lose these lows. If it loses these lows here where we are right now for 22,428, then maybe we can move to the downside. Right then, that is me done. Just over the hour, team. That's the trade that I will do. I'll keep the stop loss where it is. If we get down to 410s, stop loss will be moved to entry. 2 contracts will be taken off, and I'll leave the free. So if we get to 410s, I'll move stop loss to entry, take some off. If we don't, we'll lose 220. Okay, so that is it for today, friends. Yeah, that is it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back. As you know, Friday we don't trade on Fridays, so tomorrow we will be back. That's my last trading day of the week. And yeah, preserve your capital. If you need any help, you know where I am. If you do book a call, make sure you turn up because my time is very, very valuable and I respect your time as well. And you want to use any links, the links are down there below to buy me a matcha. So enjoy the rest of the day, preserve your capital, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. You take care.